Is it possible to live a life where you are not discriminatable, if there's such a word? In other words, is it possible to experience a life where whether you're discriminated or not, that does not affect you in the way that it usually does? And instead, you keep always shining and thriving the way that you would like to. And I was describing this and explaining this to one of my clients recently. And I realized that for several years now, I haven't felt discriminated or I haven't been impacted by discrimination in the way that it used to in the past. And not only, but I have, for the last several years of my life, I think I have finally realized that I can live my life where I'm not discriminatable. Like, it's not even a topic anymore. It's not even an issue anymore. It's not something that I even encounter, or even if I do, I don't get affected by it at all. In other words, it doesn't become my issue, right? So, in other words, people's discriminations based on their own biases, based on their own prejudices and judgments and all of this don't become my issue. And I would love to talk to you today about what if it is possible where, especially my humanitarians who feel like they go through every day, especially my amazing humanitarians from the global south, we experience and continue experiencing so often that it feels so taxing and so difficult to keep going. What if it's possible to not be affected by it? And not only that, but more so that we stop making it our problem, right? So, in other words, discrimination or other people's BS behaviors don't become our issue. Is that possible? And I feel in my experience, it is. It has been possible for several years now. And as I have been thinking and reflecting about how did I get myself to that place where it is no longer an issue that dictates what I'm capable or not, and it's no longer an issue that dominates my life. It's no longer an issue that makes me feel like, oh, because I'm from Kyrgyzstan, because I'm from a country no one understands, or because I'm from a poor background, or because I am someone who has this issue, is that issue, and all of this explaining away. And it almost even sounds like I'm indulging in self-discrimination, right? So I think I have also some clients who feel like, oh, I can't really be going for that promotion because I am not from the countries that usually get promoted, right? Which is factually, obviously, I mean, there might be factual and systemic discriminations which continue to exist. And I'm not denying that exists and continue impacting millions of people, but how are we not letting that up, and how are we not letting that to be our issue and instead keep still doing all the things that we want to do? That's, I think, is worth exploring how we can do that. So I have in my own life, and if this is helpful, I would love for you to really reflect for yourself as well. I have in my own life at some point decided that that's the first step, I think, to really living the life where discrimination is not my main issue, or it doesn't even impact me. It doesn't even occur. I don't even notice. The first thing at some point, I think I have decided that I am someone who's not discriminatable. And in other words, I have decided that if other people have their own issues of discriminating me based on traits or based on race, based on nationality, all of those things, if they have decided or they unconsciously, consciously, they have decided to discriminate me, I don't want that, their decision, their behavior that I don't approve, I don't want that to be my issue. It is their issue. It's their problem. They need to figure it out. And that was the first decision is I am not discriminatable anymore. Like I just don't tolerate that shit and I'm not discriminatable and I don't want to be suffering from someone else's um discriminatory behavior, right? Discriminatory behavior that I don't approve or be approve. I don't want to suffer from it. So therefore I have decided internally for myself that I'm no longer discriminatable. I'm not available to all of that crap that comes with it of feeling like hurt, feeling wronged, feeling like how could this and all of this. I don't participate in it. The second decision that I have made that has been so powerful is I have also decided, okay, how am I going to react when and if happens without it affecting me? Right. And I have found there are several ways that I could do, right? So one of the ways is I pointed out immediately point blank in front of the other person. In fact, I did this recently in a cafe here, and the person was very like taken back, and then I was like, okay, this is not affecting me, but I want you to see for yourself that this is what you're doing, right? This is how it's coming across. And I just want to make sure that you get reflected on this is how it's coming across. And I don't want to be like making all the drama and all the other things out of it because it wasn't anything. I think the person didn't even realize that she was doing it. But, excuse me, I have decided to speak up if I feel like this would be helpful for the other person to hear the reflection. There are times where I just walk away. There are times where no, it's not my issue, your issue. I don't want to get involved in it, right? And then I have decided for myself at least how I react and interact in such situations. And the third one, which is I have also decided that I no longer put myself in the inferior position and other people in the superior position or other people better and all of those things and me less than. I no longer do that. The same obviously is true for I no longer do that the opposite, right? Where I put myself in the higher position and put other people in the lower position. I don't participate in that. And the more I have practiced it, right? The more I have practiced in the moment, if I notice that, oh, my brain says that I'm being discriminated in the moment, consciously deciding, okay, do I really want this to be my problem? I don't. Okay. The same goes if someone else is saying something that just discriminatory. I say it immediately and give a feedback without overthinking, without like, did I really understand this correct? Maybe that wasn't, and all of this. Instead of guessworking, I just state, okay, it sounds discriminatory. I don't know if that's what you meant, but in case that's kind of how it came across, right? And then the person usually is, no, 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 that was not intention, da, 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 da. Okay. And, uh, and of course, because internally, I don't really put myself in inferior position, or I feel inferior, or other people superior, or I don't put them in pedestal or myself in pedestal, this kind of thing, then it just feels like we're all powerful human beings. How we use powers depend on us individually, right? And I would like to use my powers in trusting myself and other people. And if they don't want to, that's fine too. And what I have really realized lately that because of that decision that I no longer am discriminatable, I also stopped discriminating myself, right? And the way that I think I used to, and as I said, some of my clients do this as well, where we just feel like, oh, because I'm coming from this country, because I have this passport, because I am of this color, because I am this and I'm not, we tend to limit ourselves. We tend to feel like there are a lot more problems that we need to be solving, which might be true. But if we keep being affected by discrimination to an extent that, like I used to, where several days of not doing anything, grieving and crying and being like, feeling like it's unfair how this keeps happening to me. I shouldn't have been born in this country or whatever, all the other things. I just, I was, I guess, so tired of making other people's shitty behaviors my problem. And therefore, I thought, okay, I'm not doing this. I'm not allowing other people to discriminate me. And I'm also not allowing myself discriminate myself and say because of my passport, because of my nationality, because of my race and all of this, I can't do X, Y, Z. I just don't want to do that. And I don't want to entertain that anymore. So therefore, I have realized at some point that discrimination issue is no longer an issue. And it's not the main issue of my life either, that way it used to. And then even more so, I realized that every other topic that I used to think that used to be an issue, like imposter syndrome or confidence issue or other people's judgment, those issues also stop being issues anymore. Like insecurities, all of this, right? Because I have accepted that I am who I am with all the things that I know about myself. And I have no longer issues that keep limiting me in what I want to do in life and how I want to experience my life. And more so, I don't want other people to be in charge of determining whether I'm confident or not, whether I'm this or not. All of them not want other people to determine for me my life experience. I would like to be in charge of my own life experience. Therefore, I have decided that I want to experience my life without having those as being the issues. And I haven't had confidence type of issues or imposter type of issues for, I don't know, I think 10 years now. And I would like for you to really start thinking or seeing this possibility as, what if you can experience your life where all the issues that you feel like are the issues you can't succeed in life, or why you can't transition, why you can't do XYZ? What if those are not only solvable, but they no longer keep dominating your life? And even heavy topics like discrimination, what if you are no longer available to those type of wrongdoings because you internally feel so um, powerful and so like equal, and you no longer even like entertain that as an option, and therefore you experience your life without any of these issues. And I would love for you to experiences for yourself. And if you would like to work on this, absolutely come coach as me, where we get you free of discrimination topics and confidence topics, imposter topics, or whatever the other issues that you feel like have always been the story of your life, because of which you haven't been able to fully live life the way you would love to. Majors. There is a link below. In the meantime, have a beautiful week.